Okay, guys. Quick one. Today is day 57, right? If I'm correct. Sorry, this video is coming so late. I've been busy throughout the day, but we are still gonna kick on this challenge, and we are not stopping, no matter how busy I am. So I'm just coming back home. So just want to do a quick one. So from where we stopped yesterday, remember we were talking about Power of Three, AMD, and we took two trades. So today is going to be a review on the two trades I took based on the live analysis we did yesterday on BTC and ETH, right? One hit stop loss and the other one actually went well, right? So we're doing those review on those trades to see what happened. So it's important that as traders, if your trade hits TP, if you or stop loss, if you have time, right, it's important you just go back and do a recess. Of course, you need to record the trades, have a journal, record the trades that you took and all, right? So it's good to come back and do a recess on that trade to see what actually went wrong, right? And how you would have looked at the market in order if it wants to play the other way. But of course, when you do your analysis, you follow everything you need to see on the charts. It's a game of probability, but we don't gamble, right? We have those evidence we see and we analyze and we take that trade. And of course, because trades repeat, it's a repeated pattern that happens, and every strategy is based on what past price data, right? We don't expect our trades to give us 100% all the time. Okay, so for this now on BTC, we did we caught three trades here using the accumulation manipulation strategy, right? Even without the accumulation manipulation strategy, using the normal SMC method, you would be able to identify those trades. I think we talked about it yesterday, right? We saw a move here, market accumulated, manipulated, right? Manipulated, right? Then came back for a pullback, then distributed, right? We saw another one here, manipulation, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Then we saw another one here where we identified the accumulation manipulation to the upside. So we were waiting for market to pull back into this supply zone for the distribution. Then all of a sudden, right, you saw market taking this supply zone out immediately. Then after taking it out, it tapped into the previous supply zone that was rejected on the 4 hours time frame. Remember, we had a supply zone here for the people that took the first trade, right? This is the 4 hours, um right, is that the 4 hours? Okay, this is the 4 hours order block, the last candle, right? This was the previous order block that market sold from, right? Sold from that shifted structure to the downside. We can see that clearly on the 1 hour time frame, right? So this was the 4 hours point of interest that sold, right? Then all of a sudden, this new POI that shifted this structure, right? There was a structural liquidity here, even if you are looking at that in terms of liquidity, but we are looking at this now in terms of AMD accumulation, manipulation, and the distribution section, right? So we're supposed to take our trades here, then market neglected, took out this POI and came back to this region, then started selling from here. Okay, so you can see how everything was right on this trade. Everything was right. We saw our accumulation, we saw our manipulation, and we're waiting for market to pull back and distribute, but market took out that particular POI. But on this region, we saw it playing out right here, right? After the accumulation, manipulation, pullback, we saw it playing out here again, right? But on this particular region, market did not play out. We hit stop loss, right? So this is the review for BTC. But on ETH, if we go to ETH chart, the trade on ETH actually went well because we saw that POI market created here, which was the supply zone. Where's my... Okay. This was the supply zone market created here just after a mini accumulation, right? Not basically power of three that happened here. Then we saw market shifting, right? Giving us this structural liquidity here, right? Then all the way down. So what do we expect? We expect market to pull up and sell from that POI. You can see how market sold, and we target from this region of internal liquidity sweep, right? There is a mini fair value gap here, right? You saw 3 candle move. There's an imbalance here. Market took that out and came back and take out this low, right? So you can see on ETH, this particular SMC setup played out very well and aggressive. So if you put your stop loss just above the POI, though it happened, this move happened during the news, right? But still, during the news that came out, but still the structure held and we're able to catch beautiful trade here. You can see it. So it's a beautiful 1:4 trades. Okay, so ETH selling beautifully, obeying the structure. Of course, if you look at this and you want to map out the SMC structure here, would be this, a pullback, this, market moving back into that point of interest and selling. So of course we have looked at this POI before, right? We have looked at this kind of structure on SMC before, right? And here becomes your supply zone or your point of interest that you want to take your trade off, right? This is now that form of structural liquidity, or I think it's engineered, right? Here for you, then market came back, pushing to the point of that, went straight aggressively, right, to that POI. So this giving you that beautiful 1:4 trade here. If you mark this POI very well, so it's a beautiful 1:4 trade. Looking at that, right? So this played out well on ETH, but on BTC, you can see how markets decide to disregard that particular POI which we're supposed to sell from, right, and went all the way to this structure. So 2 trades, one hit stop loss and one actually went well. So that is trading for you, right? What we saw was not wrong. What we saw was correct. Market had every right to have sold from this place, but the market decided not to do that, invalidated that POI. You take your loss, well, right? But everything we saw here was manipulation, distribution, and accumulation, manipulation, distribution, setup. Market did not follow that structure, and we hit the stop loss. So you're looking at the recess, we did not do anything wrong. We followed everything on our strategy book, right? We followed everything on our strategy book, but the market invalidated that structure. Doesn't mean your trade or analysis was wrong. No, it's a beautiful, correct analysis, and I would take this trade any other time I see it. Why? It has happened several times in the past, so there's high chance it will repeat itself and play out again. That the day it does not play out does not mean this strategy does not work, right? You can see same day, right, same time, this played out. So for you now catch the same, and the same thing happened here. The same trade happened here. This supply zone has actually been holding what's it called, ETH, for a very long time. This supply zone has been holding ETH. Market came back into this same structures, TP below here, but this was beautiful, right? So would I see this same setup? Say market invalidated this setup now, and I will now see it again. I won't trade it. I will definitely take the trade. Now what makes you now profitable is now you know how to manage risks. You have a fixed rate for every trade you are taking. So if I taken BTC and took ETH and I'm risking say $100 stop loss, that's a 1:4 trade on BTC. I have a 1:4 trade on ETH. Then I hit $100 stop loss here, and I'm making $400 here on this particular sale. So I'm still in profit. Okay, so I'm still in profit. That's the beautiful thing about trading, right? That's the beautiful thing about trading. As long as you see your setup that you have back tested several times, is this setup going to play out? If the setup is playing out 100% of the time, then everybody trading will be millionaires, because we'll just go and cram a particular setup and we'll look for that setup in the chart, right? But it takes time for you to master and perfect it. But there is this belief in you have when you back tested your setup several times and you have been trading it over and over the time and you're profitable. You want to take trades with it. So you see the setup, you definitely trade it, right? So for me, it's a beautiful trade on BTC. You see the setup, you want to take it. There was a buy setup here, right? Remember yesterday I told you guys there was a buy setup here on BTC that would have moved us into selling from this POI. But what the market do? Market neglected this and went to this POI and started selling to the downside. So that is just the review for today. Okay, so it's gonna be a short one. Like I said, I've been very busy. I just came back home now, decided to record this video. So if you took any trade today, whether it's a loss or you're in profit, go back and have a recess on that trade. Look at it the way you'd have traded it. The way I would have traded, even if I traded the buys from this region, right? Say you took the buy from this region, I would still, right? I would still take profit immediately we get to the sell this sell POI. So even if I'm taking a buy off here, it would have been buys at this region, then I'll target this here. Then once you get there, I'll close my trade and take a sell, right? Because of the structure and the strategy I'm seeing. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution rule, I'll take it, right? So if market decides to invalidate it, it doesn't mean my setup was wrong, right? Or what I saw was wrong, or I was completely wrong in the trade. No, it's not about being wrong or being right when it comes to trading. It's about having a system that you discipline yourself to follow every time consistently and train your eyes to see it. You know that the system will not print for you 100% of the time, but if it can print 60% of the time it appears, if it can print 70% of the time it appears, even 50% of the time it appears, you would be profitable with proper risk management. That's how it works. So thank you very much, guys, for watching today. This is a wrap.